evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Plato, and we will be watching a Castlevania Aria of Sorrow randomizer tournament race tonight between Berix on the left and Derxu on the right. These runners should be able to start in this is an area randomizer, which means every area exit will lead to a random place, typically not the usual place it will lead to, which will most likely lead to some very weird castle layouts and exploring areas in a different order than the standard one. Might as well note right now that you should not be surprised to see both players get the Black Panther early dash ability, because those seeds are, in a bad way, the first progression item both runners find will always be Black Panther. Here we go. Berix on the left, there's on the right. There is a little sink loss here. Ooh, lots of money. Runting is a good weapon. Rune Ring is excellent. Chrono Mage is interesting because it allows access to the time stop room. And let's see what both players decide to do. Berix definitely bought Runting and Chrono Mage, and Derxu didn't buy anything, as far as I can tell. Definitely sold the knife, but I didn't see him buying anything. Alright, here's a blue, most likely Persephone, okay. And here's Black Panther. Let's go. Not this. Both players having to check that left exit at the beginning, just some food, and they decide to not explore the reservoir right away, which makes sense. It's a pretty high level area and you are at risk of dying or not being able to progress a lot because of the lack of Malphas. Ooh, nice below drop here for Berix. Randomly on his bed. Down here is nothing of interest, sadly. Derxu is gonna check that right away, but since Derxu saved, he will be able to save split after finding out there is nothing. And opts not to do so. Okay. Not sure why he saved then. Alright, Iron Blade, pretty decent early game armor for Berix here. Ooh, and Manticore, the best rush soul, is in the corridor. Very nice. Derxu finding it right after. There's a very small difference here between both runners. Flying armor for Berix, okay. That's absolutely useless, but hey, he has it. Oh, and Malphas as well. Nice. So here is flying armor for Derxu, and both players have acquired Malphas. Nice. Okay, garden. Gotta remember that for later. Number of checks you can do right away. Here we go. What do we have here? Level plates is nothing too exciting. is opting for a slightly unusual route through this place, but it always leads to these rooms, so no big deal. Gonna check all of these places. Flame necklace is nothing too great, it could be decent. War fatigues are a nice mid-game armor. Comparison of iron plate is personal taste. Like, I think iron plate has a bit more defense, and war fatigues does bring a little strength boost for your weapon damage. So to each their own on this debate. And both players should be finishing up that gardens exploration pretty soon. Uh-oh, we have a Berix freeze. Hopefully his trip is back soon. Okay, here we go. Maybe it was just a resync attempt, or a resync effort by the wonderful SpeedGaming team. Okay, let's see what we have here. Oh, dead end. Those areas that have an exit to the left at the end are always a bit scary in the early game, because left exits are way more likely to bring a dead end. There are 3 dead ends on the left in the early game versus 0 right side dead end. We are back in the castle corridors, most likely gonna head to the far right exit. We had a number of checks there as well that we can safely out of. And right now there is not much else these players could do with just Malphas. In theory they could head back to the very early game and ascend the tower that normally leads into the dance hall, but that's obviously just worse than just going through the chapel exit. Berix makes his way there first, but yeah, the difference is very small there. Let's see what they find. Some meat on the right, and yeah, just healing. Alright, Derxu opts to keep that healing, whereas Berix just saves out of this place and leaves. Let's see if it pays off. Healing can matter. Typically it makes the late game fights a little easier and safer. But if healing happens to be abundant in the shops after upgrades, then all the time, quote-unquote, wasted to grab healing in the early game won't serve you too well. I have a blue soul here. Let's see what it is. Giant bat, alright. That's very good. So now both players have access to flight, which means most of the castle is accessible to them. We are just missing Skula for full access. Alright, Berix opting to visit the reservoir after opting to not do it earlier. Now we have a bit more gear and also Malphas, of course, as well as giant bats. It should be a better option now than it was a couple of minutes ago. One check there. Oh, okay. Nothing too exciting here. And Derxu, oh, interesting, is going to try and check the waterfall room checks. High potion, alright. Derxu spending even more time finding healing. Ooh, what do we have here? Hippogriff? We are sure hoping for Hippogriff here if we are Berix. Because Kicker Skelly, yeah, that's can get marginal use, but not what you're looking for at this point, for sure. Ganamoff isn't strictly... Oh, by the way, we have the Chrono Mage on Berix's side. I'm not sure... Yes, Derxu also bought Chrono Mage, so we can access the Ganamoff room in the inner quarters. Oh, looks like those Dryads resist poison, so the Huron thing isn't doing a great job at dealing with them. Yeah. Oh, Derxu could not get the arrow to break that exit, and oh, that's funny. Both players picked different exits, and they both found top floor. Interesting. Difference here is Derxu doesn't get access to the wooden area. And yep, opting to go get the teleporter. Top floor can be scary to do early, but it's usually well worth at least rushing to the teleporter and coming back later. Ooh, blue book. Well, let's see. Shadow Knight, we have that, I think. I'm pretty sure we have that. So, pretty good deal. Derxu now trying to make his way into the teleporter alive. If he can do that, then he will not need to walk back to the top floor later. Which will definitely be a time save. Melon. Whereas Berix is heading up there for this check, and we're probably gonna do the garden exit next. That you can access with the double jump and a little drilling trick of aiming for the very edge of the platform. This platform is a bit lower at the very edge, so you can reach to precisely time the double jump. Major trick used in most speedrun categories. Interesting now, we really have different routings. Berix found the cemetery and a nice slide ability, Titan Blaze, whereas Derxu made his way through the top floor into the inner quarters, which is a pretty nice area to explore. It has a number of checks, but sadly he entered from the right side, which means you can't save before the boss, and that can hurt. Because if the boss happens to be Legion at this stage, we don't really have what it takes to battle it in a comfortable manner. Or Legion or even Death, potentially. So things can get a bit awkward when you approach this area from the right side. Berix battled the big golem, no trouble at all in the underground cemetery. More water, nice. Definitely an upgrade over this iron plate that he had before. Let's see what the rest of those top floor checks hold for Derxu here. Nah, nothing too exciting. Exploring top floor early can be also a very big payoff because there is a waiting system in items and checks, which means late game areas like the top floor have a better chance of having late game items. So great weapons, great armor, etc. And here it looks like it was not really the case. So pretty sad for Derxu, but at least now he's done all that. He has the blue book and he has the top floor teleporter that he will definitely need to get back to later. And now heading towards the right exit of that area. Meanwhile, Berix is just ascending the tower into the dance hall exit. Nothing too thrilling. Sad news here is Derxu doesn't have Skula, so he will not be able to get most of the Eastern Reservoir checks. Still going for the couple ones you can access from this side. Oh, are we trying the new zip? Nice. Looks like these runners are getting really consistent at this thing. Haven't learned it myself yet. Alright, Onigiri. Can't reach the soul canister down there, sadly, because of the no Skula factor. Galamov is nothing too good when you already have access to Chrono Mage. Oh, and Berix just found a Hippogriff in the arena. That is huge. Sadly, Derxu's exploration has proved, oh, and Skula as well, has proved not too useful in acquiring progression. And now Berix found this very, very stacked arena and is definitely in the driver's seat in this race at the moment. Let's watch as Berix finishes the exploration of the arena. Looks like Derxu is gonna head for the boss room. Let's hope for him it's nothing too bad, because as I explained earlier, he will not be able to save anywhere close to the boss room. Nothing wrong with checking the roof room first. There could be some healing, there could be some good weapons in there. What do we have? Spur Potion is very solid healing. And I'm not sure what that weapon is, nothing too good I think. Alright, Vanilla Headhunter is not too bad, really, especially with access to Manticore, plus a decent mid-game sword like hunting. I am not too worried for Derxu. And Berix, oh, Vanilla Balor, wow. All the vanilla bosses. I'm not sure what Berix's weapon station is at the moment, but yeah, 27 per hit will be a bit slow, but not too bad. Especially with some help from Shadow Knight for extra DPS. Uh-oh. Getting hit a lot by Balor here. I'm not sure if Runting would be a better DPS than this. The good news for Derxu is that battling Headhunter allows for a shop upgrade. So this potentially could lead to Derxu having access to great equipment. We see that Berix at the moment is stuck with slightly suboptimal stuff, like we don't have any great late game sword just yet. So it might mean that when Derxu comes to battle Balor, he spends a lot less time on this fight, for example. Didn't pay attention to those Galamov checks. Hopefully it was nothing too important. And Berix is now ready to make his way out of the arena. Derxu finding the clock tower. Well, clock tower isn't the best area for checks, especially when you enter from the right side, since all the checks are on the left side, as well as the boss. Sadly, with no Skula, Derxu cannot head to the bottom half of the clock tower. Ooh, Death Thighs. Death Thickle is a great weapon with a very big hitbox and big dark damage. I think we're still lacking the backdash Gravekeeper on both sides. So it means so it means Death Sickle can't really be used to its full potential at the moment. But when the time comes, it can be a very good late game weapon for Graham and Julius. Let's see what boss we have here for Derxu. Death, wow. Vanilla Death, Vanilla Headhunter, Vanilla Balor. Is this even boss Rando? Yeah, I think we saw a non-vanilla big golem. Alright, Berix finding the blue book. He will discover its Shadow Knight, which he already possesses. Berix a bit low on health though in this top floor. Would be best to not die. Oh, nice melon. So now, in a pinch, he can use that for survival. Really nice moves, avoiding all of the enemies. Acquiring Mimic, so all of those things Berix is doing right now, Derxu has done them earlier. They were nothing too useful, but Derxu has done them, and now Berix is going to go through the process. The fact Berix already has access to Hippogriff though makes the area navigation a lot faster for Berix than it was for Derxu. So he will be way quicker in realizing there is nothing of value in here. Alright, Death is now done for Derxu, who will get to check the left exits of the clock tower. And really hoping, I think we have no dead ends yet left. Alright, back into the corridors. The next logical step here for Derxu would be to check the upgraded shop, I suppose. Could also try to reach the exit at the top of this place, since we now have giant bats. I didn't see where the arena was when Berix found it. So it could very well be this left exit here. As far as I know. No, it's a dance hall. Pretty cool too. Dance hall is a lot of checks in a pretty small surface. So quite worth it when you're looking for books and book souls. The wedding makes it less likely you will find excellent weapons here. But books and souls, they're fair game. Or skull key, yay. The most useless item in the game. Cape, pretty close on the list of most useless items. And potion. Yeah, Derxu must not be too excited right now about those dance hall finds. Berix about to battle our best friend Headhunter. And looks like Derxu is heading to the bottom of this area, going to go for the infamous I don't know how to call that, basement check. That is so far off the beaten path and could still be vital, so most people, well, it can be wise to check it. What do we have? Flesh Golem, alright, it could be Derxu as far as we know. We have not yet found the yellow book. Alright, let's see what the next boss is for Derxu. I think we've seen most of the randomized bosses. So I believe this will be either Legion or Great Armor. So quite a big difference in difficulty. Oh, not even saving, wow. That's bold. Luckily it's Great Armor, so no probs. But had it been Legion, I don't know how. Well, I guess if he didn't say it means Derxu would have been confident killing Legion. Alright, down goes the great armor. Trident. Nah. Ah, okay. Not saving for a big save split. Oh, okay. And the players have Undine, which I failed to see on Derxu's side earlier. And Derxu now has Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl. Ooh, and Vijaya. That's a good blade. That's a good straight. Definitely better than Runting. Damage-wise. The lightning element isn't the most useful. It can be good if you're trying to farm Final God, because the great armors are weak to lightning. Wow, Berix having a bit of trouble exiting that room. Lots of yellow heads. And why is Derxu? Oh, okay, it must be the farm for Une. Didn't pay attention to that. Farming some Catabolepus. Draxels in this rando have an increased chance of spawning of the farm compared to the normal enemies drop chance. So it makes farming a little less tedious than it would be otherwise. Berix in the red book. Oh, and Berix does have the yellow book? Not sure where he found that. So now Berix is just looking for the souls, not even bothering with the boss fight apparently. While Derxu is having trouble battling the Catabolepus, and especially getting the drop, because like battling them isn't too hard, it's getting the drop that you want, and it's of course fully random, even if the probability is increased compared to vanilla. I suppose Berix is going to head back into the early game. So reaching for the teleporter maybe? Looks like Derxu found his soul since he is now exiting the area. So the story here is, I suspect Berix is still missing Une. He has the yellow book and I don't know what soul it is. Maybe chat knows. Yellow book was in Galamov. Okay. So they both have it, right? And Berix has Une. Wow. All right. Yeah. Wow. If it is really good mode for Berix, this is a super fast seed. Like good mode at 27:20 is really great. Ooh, and we have a relatively cheap high mind ups too, which combined with Manticore will make for great DPS on the late game bosses. That is quite exciting for the final time we might see on this. Yep, we are indeed heading for the top floor. Berix is in go mode. And Derxu is still lacking Hippogriff and Skula from the arena. Those seeds where arena has essential stuff can be very, very unforgiving, because arena has only one entrance, and if you don't find it, you don't find it, and it will give the person who did find it a big lead, and it's exactly what happened here, basically, for Berix. Like, Berix found the arena early, whereas while Derxu was exploring areas with nothing, and Derxu never found arena. And it's basically the entirety of the lead explained there. Cooperative Graham hitting the walls. All right, phase 1 is over. Moving on to phase 2. Berix has been known as a great mathematician earlier, with counting the HP of phase 2 Graham and switching just before the final blow. Let's see how well he does this time with that exercise. Suddenly he found backdash. Oh, he wasn't really switched to the thing, okay. Suddenly he never found backdash, so Death Sickle isn't doing the most possible damage. With Manticore and a Katana though, this phase 3 should mean no problem for Berix. Just need to be a bit careful, because those hands do a lot of damage. Very, very pointy claws. Oh, and it looks like Derxu is in go mode too, after finding Une. That is good. Oh no, never mind. Derxu is not in go mode because Derxu lacks Skula. I suppose he can hope Skula is in the chaotic realm. It happens sometimes. It has happened in one of the races earlier in this tournament. Oh, and Derxu pulled the position rifle from the shop. That's pretty cool. Sadly, it has horrendous damage on the final boss, I believe. And it's not that great on Graham either. I believe we only know about the arena Skula that Berix found. So it could be in the chaotic realm for sure. The duplicate Skula. Sorry about that. Let's find out. Berix remembering what the gardens are. Very, very well played. And heading towards Julius. Saving for good measure. Makes sense here for Berix to save, because he is paced for a sub 40 finish, and that is extremely fast for those seeds. So even if he doesn't know where Derxu is, he has a very reasonable expectation of being ahead at this time. So don't want to risk it all on a Julius death. Yeah, Death Sickle without backdash isn't nearly as good on Julius. Let's see if Berix opts to keep at it. Apparently he does. Uh-oh, and now getting low health. We are lacking a great damage yellow. Like, we don't have Ludicon, we don't have Triton, we don't have Stolas, as far as I know. There's a bit of trouble with his positioning for those Manticore hits. $30 per Soul Slash isn't too exciting. And Berix also resets. It's really important here. You have to manage your healing items. Because, as we saw, we don't have great gear, so we might need a lot of healing for Chaos. So it can be wise to try and not spend it all on Julius. Good old Belmont. believe Berix has a lot of mana healing, but not so much health healing. Yeah, this seed is a reminder that Julius is a difficult boss when you don't have the most OP gear. Very agile, sometimes it can be very difficult to dodge his attacks and also predict his behavior. Derxu trying to find the duplicate Skula in the waterfall room, but no luck there. Alright, and Derxu is going to explore the rest of the reservoir. Honestly, here I strongly expect Skula, the duplicate Skula, to be in the realm, and that would be very cruel for Derxu. Alright, Julius phase 2 for Berix. Getting hit by holy water. Probably kinda hurts when you're Dracula. Phase 2 luckily has less HP than phase 1, so it should be over in not too long. Wow. Alright, Archdemon again. Trying to refill on mana. Getting hit now would be dangerous though, because it would put Berix in lethal range. Okay, gonna heal a bit. No, wow. That's bold. Okay, he was so close to that. Good riddance. Goodbye, Julius. Berix now heading into the realm. I suspect he will check the realm checks, since he's still looking for a top tier late game weapon. So we'll be able to see if they are Skula or not. Is this Galamov? Or have we? No, I think we found Galamov already. Oh, of course it's Gravekeeper. Hooray! Gravekeeper for Berix will now be able to use his Death Sickle if he's Redeus, but sadly Chaos is resistant to Dark. So Death Sickle will not be a great choice for that fight. Did Derxu die? Why is he back at the top floor save room? I'm not sure. Well, he's so far behind now anyway, so that doesn't really matter. I suspect Berix is going to be able to kill Chaos. Maybe not first try, but in a reasonable time. Not interested in this Rahab sword. And duplicate Gravekeeper in the Karak realm for good measure. Very curious to see what setup Berix will use for phase 1 of Chaos. For phase 2 we have Manticore, we have Archdemon, we have a lot of mana healing, of high mind ups. So I'm not too worried about that. With Bale for some damage boost, for some extra damage on the Manticore. But phase 1, you kind of need a good weapon for that, because phase 1 steals your souls. Derxu about to find Skula in the arena, and he will be in go mode after that. Still needs a number of death from Berix to be able to catch up now. Okay, yes, Suna. Okay, yes, that's very good actually. Katanas and their multi-hits are very good against the zero defense of phase 1 Chaos. My concern was a bit unwarranted and baseless. Good deal for Berix. Yes, to down phase 1 and some good Monticoring on phase 2 should do the trick. Yeah, look at those 80 triple hits. Really nice. And here is Kula for Derxu. Bit too far behind, sadly, to catch up here. Let's just watch Berix finish up this chaos. We can have a look at Derxu when he goes to face Julius. Let's see how he fares against that boss compared to Berix. All right, opting for some soul hits on the ice instead of Manticore. That's interesting. Probably worried about running short on mana. I suspect Berix is gonna go for a 2 ice strat here, since I think we have nothing really good to break the top ice. I don't think we have Red Minnow, for example. Okay, that down goes I2. Let's see how much damage Manticore does on the core. Yeah, 83 is really good. No need for more eyes, especially with all the mind ups we have access to. Oh, also using Arc Demon right before the orb hits. Pretty nice strats. Alright. Landing all the 83 hits should be over not right away. This core has a number of HP, but in not too long. Couple more. We have so much mana, so many high mind ups. Will not be an issue at all. Okay. And down goes Chaos. 40 minutes and 23 seconds for Berix. This is an excellent Rando time, even for those seeds with the guaranteed early game Black Panther. Very, very, very nice. And Derxu is just entering the Julius boss room and opting to battle with Vijaya. Sadly, it doesn't do a great deal of damage. And Desticle, just like Berix, Desticle will not be too good for Derxu without the how do you call that? I never know. Gravekeeper. Well, GG to Berix. Really, really impressive time. Oh, and Derxu goes down. I suspect he would not want to keep going. Well, we have a winner in this first race of the match in Berix, and Derxu did indeed forfeit. Don't go anywhere though, since a second race is going to take place right after this one between those two players. I will sadly not be able to commentate this one for you, but you should still watch it. We have two really good Aria players and mainstays of the Aria Rando community. Oh, and we have commentary apparently from Simo and Garni, Texas. So I will leave you all in very, very good hands. That second race will start pretty soon, and I will be able to leave you as soon as our casters for race 2 join us in the room. In the meantime, maybe our runners want to go for a break, and it's highly understandable. So we will not have post-game interviews right now. You might get some after race 2.